Hey everybody, welcome to today's class, which is focusing on when you are too fatigued to practice. So maybe you know that you need yoga in your life and you know that yoga is good for you, but you're too tired, you're too fatigued, you're too exhausted. And honestly, there's a lot of us out there right now, a lot of you out there right now who are feeling like, I know I need to do yoga, but I'm so exhausted. Like, how can I do anything when I am combating such high levels of fatigue? If you are feeling that way, today's practice is for you. So come join me on your back. And you could even do this in your own bed if you happen to be in bed. If you have enough energy to make your way to your mat, join me on your mat, lying on your back with your knees bent, your feet flat on the floor, and bring the arms along the sides of the body. In this practice, we're going to be doing a lot of mindful movement. So yoga is really good and healthy for, building strength and endurance and all those good things. But the thing that it's the most awesome for, if you let it be, is helping your nervous system. And when you're really fatigued, it's probably because your nervous system is just fried. And so these movements we're going to do today are really like slow and mindful, and we're bringing awareness into it. And that is helping your nervous system, which is super important if you're feeling these high levels of fatigue and exhaustion. I'm going to stop talking now and we'll start doing some nice movement. Bring your hands along the sides of your body. Inhale, take the arms overhead. Nice and slow. And on your exhale, come back. Inhale the arms overhead. And exhale, come back. Do that once more. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, come back. And now when you inhale, you're going to pause for just an extra count of 1 at the top of your inhale. Inhale, arms overhead. Count for 1. Exhale, come back. Inhale, arms overhead. Pause for 1. And exhale, return. Let's do that once more. Inhale, arms overhead. Pause. And then come back. Now we're going to add the lifting of the hips to this flow with our breath and continuing with that pause. So just 1 extra pause or a count of 1 at the top. Inhale, arms overhead, and then your hips gently lift up. They don't have to lift very high. They could lift a little bit or a lot. It's your choice. Pause, count of 1, and then come back. Coming back with control, seeing if you can articulate the spine on the way down. So that means trying to get every part of your back to make contact with the floor. Inhale, peel your spine back off the floor. Arms overhead. Pause. And exhale, slowly come back. Let's do that again. Inhale, arms overhead. Pause. This time you're going to hold it here. Hold it here. And now we're going to flow the breath with a gentle lifting and lowering of the hips. So inhale, gently lift your hips up. Exhale, let them softly come just a little bit down, not all the way to the floor. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Once more, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Now bring the arms back along the sides of the body as you lower down. Send the legs long. Take the arms back overhead. Breath in through the nose. Exhale, hug the knee to the chest. And inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hug the right knee to the chest. Once more, inhale. And exhale. You can stay here, pause for an extra beat, and maybe take the head and the neck off the mat if that would feel okay. Gently release down. Send that leg long, arms back overhead. Exhale, hug the left knee in towards the chest. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hug the knee. Do that once more. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hug the knee. Hold it. Maybe bring the head, neck, and shoulders up. Maybe not. And then roll back down. Inhale, everything long. Let's stretch. Just stretch. Squeeze your thighs, flex your feet, reach for your fingertips, pop your belly up. Maybe a yawn. Exhale, hug the knees both to the chest, one at a time. Bring your forehead up. Gently let the upper body come to the mat. Shift the legs side to side. And bring the feet back to the mat. And pause, resting in awareness here. Just rest and see, how does your body feel? Is it different? How about your emotions, your mind, your thoughts, your spirit? Resting in awareness. Take a breath in and breath out. And let's gently lift the hips, shift them over to the right or the left about 5-6 inches, set them down, hug the knees, and twist, actually come into fetal child's pose on either side. Use this kind of as a transition space, and we're going to come all the way onto the belly, sending the legs long, roll all the way onto the belly. Bring the hands along the sides of the body on fingertips. So this is a variation of a cobra pose. Inhale, lift the head, neck, and shoulders. And if this feels like too much, know that you can always have the hands under here, or you can have the hands along the sides of the body. Any of these choices are good choices. On your exhale, rolling back down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Do one more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And now release the hands from the face to the side. And rest in awareness, simply noticing your own self. Breath in. Exhale, come into table. Table, spread your fingers nice and wide, stack the shoulders and the hips. Softness in your elbows. We're going to flow through a couple of different movements. It can be a cow, a cat, and a child's pose. We're going to keep your knees in place. You're not going to take the knees wide. Inhale, simply shift your heart space through your arms. So your heart space is going to shift through. Exhale into cat, round your back, tuck your chin, and then flow right into child's pose. Keep the knees right in place. Drop the elbows down, your forearms to the mat, so your wrists, your elbows, and your knees are in the same line. Let the crown of your head drop down. And your next inhale, shift back to your cow. So table, let the heart space move in your cow. Exhale, cat, round your back, tuck, press, and then flow right into that child's pose, dropping the forearms down to the mat. Forehead gravitates towards the floor. Inhale, back to the cow, slide the chest through the arms. Exhale, cat, and child's pose. Inhale, cow, sliding through, cat, child's pose. Do one more. Inhale, slide it through, round it, and anchor it back to the mat. Now you might choose to slide into a deeper child's pose or a softer child's pose. So that could look like widening the knees and sinking the chest and the belly, or it could look like bringing the knees more narrow and sweeping the hands along the sides of the body. Any of those choices, find one and rest here in awareness. And so come back to table and now into a seated position. Any seated position that works for you, ankles crossed or feet together, or even sitting in a chair. Inhale, take the right arm up and overhead, anchor your left hand down. So right arm's just gonna reach, and when you reach, rotate, open the heart space, reach, kind of finding length and opening through that side body. Exhale, bring the elbow back, just parallel to the earth or your mat. And we'll do that a few times. Inhale to stretch. Consciously send your breath into the right part of your rib cage. Then exhale, come back, nice and soft and gentle. Inhale, stretch. And you could take your focal point up or you could take it down. And then exhale, return. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, come back. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, come back. Set that hand down. Take the left arm up. Inhale, reach it over. Try to keep the chest lifting and open. So there can be tendency to square and round. Want to open, stack. Exhale, return. Left elbow parallel to the shoulder. Inhale, extend and reach. And exhale, come back. These really kind of softer, more gentle practices. Inhale, keep moving with your own breath. Help us, especially when we pause. So we do the movements and then we pause. We pause and we just notice our own self. And if you've done your 2 more, rest and awareness. When we pause and we notice our own self, it helps create this pause or this break. So then when we're off in our day-to-day life, and maybe something arises, maybe something happens or something comes up in you emotionally, like you get triggered, you now have this pause that you've practiced. So you're practicing pausing and becoming aware of like what is happening in my brain and my emotions, my body. And it gives you this place that you can act from a different level of awareness. So when you're out in the world and something happens, you get triggered, you now are practice. And so you pause and you notice the self. And it gives you this like extra split second to decide where you want to come from. How do I want to react? Do I want to just react react emotionally, or can I pause? Can I breathe? Can I take a moment to like assess what's happening and where do I want to come from? So that's what these slower practices can do. And this practice today is really like, if you're too fatigued, but you still want yoga in your life, you still want some mindful movement, and you still want to benefit your body and specifically your nervous system here, this is definitely your practices for today. So that is all the movement we're going to do. We're actually going to come back onto the back for a Shavasana. And Shavasana is the place where you absorb, you integrate what you have just offered yourself. Take a moment here, get yourself comfortable and relaxed. Let the arms and legs go long or whatever might feel good for you. Bring your awareness now to your breath. We're going to focus on a even breath in and an even breath out, but there's still maybe a little bit of strength. It's not like the softest, most calm breath you've ever done. But it's even, and that's the important part. We want an even breath in and an even breath out through the nose. Let's inhale to a count of 3. Exhale for 3. Inhale for 3. Exhale for 3. Inhale 3. Exhale 3. Inhale 3. Exhale 3. Inhale 3. Exhale 3. Once more. Inhale 3. Exhale 3. Now let the breath become soft. And let your body go. Let your body become heavy and melt into the earth. You also may notice if there's any resistance. Are you consciously holding any parts of your body? And can you soften them? Can you consciously get a little softer in your shoulders, or in your belly, or in your hips, your thighs, your hands, your feet, your face? You would like a longer Shavasana or even to fall into maybe a nap, please stay here. If you are wanting to move on with your day, find some rotation in the ankles and the wrists, and point and flex and open and close the hands and the feet. Bend your knees, lift your hips, shift them to the right or the left, roll into fetal child's pose. Fetal child's pose is this place where we can just pause for transition. Take a breath in. Exhale, push yourself up into seated. Bring your hands together at your heart. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. And always keep in mind that it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be fast. It doesn't have to be like super strong for it to really benefit your body. And these gentle, slower practices aid your nervous system in combating fatigue and deep level exhaustion. So keep coming back to these practices. Thank you so much for joining me.